All right, since it is our star athlete, we're going to be joined right now by one of our community's very most dedicated swimmers. That's not proper in the grammar, but 10 years ago, shortly after Joe Zaworski lost his friend Carly Collard to cancer at a young age, he found Carly's Crossing to honor her memory. Joe, along with a group of fellow swimmers, were determined to complete a marathon swim relay that year, which is each participant taking turns swimming 1 mile at a time for a total of 26.2 miles. But bad weather kept them from completing the swim, so to honor the 10th anniversary of Carly's Crossing, Joe and his fellow swimmers will be attempting to finish the marathon they started 10 years ago. So now Joe is joining us live in the studio. How are you this morning, Joe?
Great, man. Good to be here.
All right, let's start with the, I think the idea is very interesting. So how did you come up with the swim marathon relay?
I was actually training for a running marathon, and it was a cold, wintry, blustery day. It was frigid outside, and Carly, who was 12 at the time, was battling cancer. And she was going through radiation therapy, and for some reason I said, what can I do for Carly's Club, which Carly had founded for other kids who were battling cancer. And I thought, let's swim in the lake. The lake was frozen at the time, and I had this crazy idea, let's do a marathon swim for a marathon fight. And I told a few people. I told Carly's adoptive dad at the time, and he said, I think this is going to work. It was a crazy idea. And with that first year, we tried to go from Dunkirk, New York to Crystal Beach, Ontario. We were doing great, and 13 miles across, we hit a big storm, which happens with lake crossings. And we got pushed back to Dunkirk Harbor.
Now, take us back then. So, for the people that aren't, swimmers out there, how difficult is it to do an open water swim?
It is. Most open water swimmers, when people swim the English Channel and things like that, they actually don't complete them. 70–80% of the time, they're not successful, which is why this was a big gamble. They were 52 swimmers, 26 miles, 2 at a time. I swam the first 4 or so miles in very, very high seas. There were probably 7-foot waves when we started out, and they can make a swimmer nauseous and things like that, and a few of us were. So after that, we decided to bring it inside the break wall, get more people involved, and for the last 8 years, it's been a inside the break wall type swim, and we've had between 300 and 400 swimmers every year, and raised almost $1 million. This being our 10th anniversary, we thought, why not finish what we started on the very, very first year, and the exact same point at Sturgeon Point, Matt. We're going to pick up the journey, and we're going to swim into Gallagher Beach.
How can other people out there get involved? Can they volunteer? Can they swim?
Absolutely. Go to carlyscrossing.org. This swim is on Friday, where we're going to compete what we started on the first year. But the regular Carly's Crossing, where there's a non-competitive 600-yard swim, a non-competitive mile swim, and a competitive mile swim. That's still Sunday, August 12th. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. They can call Robin Hayes at Roswell. Just Google Carly's Club, or Google Carly's Crossing, carlyscrossing.org. You get all the information. You can sign up to swim if you want to take to the lake. You can volunteer, like you said. You can show up for the day and cheer on the swimmers. There's a lot of ways to get involved.
And to tie it into our last story, there's actually going to be a special cocktail and cocktail event with the club. And I think we're going to head over to the Kitchen World Kitchen in a little bit to find out more about that.
Great. We're actually going to swim right up into that on Friday.
Up into the Perfect.
One event will lead to the other.
All right, so right now we're going to head over to our Kitchen World Kitchen, where Emily is going to give you a little more information about what's going on.